All right. So yeah, good evening, everyone. Am I audible to you guys? All right. So yeah, I'll share my screen. Okay. I hope my screen is visible. All right. Sorry. Okay. So yeah, the introductory class is done. So from now on, I'll tell you how it's going to be. So we will continue with solving each and every assignment that is there. We'll solve each and every assignment, and then I'll solve each question. After that, I'll enter in all your doubts. So gather all your doubts first. For each, I'll enter in each question, and then we'll take on in this manner. We'll solve each and every assignment that is there. So don't need to worry. All the doubts that are there will be catered. Any doubts outside the Acciojob Precourse won't be catered here. You can reach out to me on Discord, or you can join the live doubts hour where there is a one-on-one session and you can ask the mentor, and that will be better, because if a personal question is there, then it won't be a good thing to solve it in class. And please don't share your codes in the chat box. I won't be able to look at them for all the specific code errors, or if you want to debug your code, then please join the doubt hours. There are mentors waiting there. They'll be more than happy to help you out. Okay. I hope I'm clear. All right. So let's start off with the first unit itself. I'll just repeat what we did yesterday, because yesterday was just an introduction kind of thing for us. Okay. All right. So welcome to Java. So this is the very first module that will teach you how to print anything in your program. We have not learned about data types. Whatever we type in inverted commas, and whatever we type inside inverted commas, it will be printed as it is, be it with space or be it with anything else. Whatever you will do inside the inverted commas, those will be printed exactly as it is. Coming to the print statement, this is a system.out.print. This is a standard syntax of Java that you need to learn, because there are certain things that we can't help you, like with explanation why do we write it in this manner. That is the syntax of the language. You'll need to learn that. For Java, it is system.out.print. For C, it will be printf. For C++, it will be cout. And for Python, it will be print. So for different languages, there's different statements. So there's a syntax for every language that you need to learn. Okay, so this is the print syntax. There are two types of print statements. I'll show you. Let's just comment these up. So there's something called system.out.print. Let's go to the okay. All right, and there's something called print ln statement as well. Okay, so what's the difference between two statements? So print statement prints from the last point where it started, and will continue, will allow you to print after it is ended. So what happens in print ln is, whatever it is in print ln, it will start from a new line and nothing will be allowed after that statement. So say when you print anything, say Acciojob. Okay, so if you print Acciojob, so like let's take the example of your output screen. So when you run the program, there is something that is printed till now. This much is printed. So there's some random text. So when this statement is executed, even though there is space after this in this line, it won't print there. It will print in the next line. Acciojob will print here. And after that, if there is any statement, be print or print ln, that will be printed from the next line. Okay. So nothing will be printed in the print ln statement line. Only the content that is there inside the system.out.print ln, be it variables, be it data types, or be it any else string, that will be printed. Other than that, nothing else will be printed in that line. That is the rule of print ln. Okay. So what you can do, so that what that means is, if it is already on a new line, then it is well and good. Otherwise, it will do a backslash, and that will be basically like put a enter there and start from the next line. Okay. That is about println statement. And what does print statement means? It will continue from the last pointer. See, when you have printed something in the program, say like hello world. So when the next print statement comes, if it is not println, then it will start from right from the cursor point of view. So when I show you like a output screen, so this is what the screen will look after this statement is executed. Now, since it's not a println statement, and this is also not a println statement, so what will happen is this will start printing from right here itself. There won't be any spaces, anything else. So prints continues to execute from the last pointer of the file that is there. Okay. Now, if it was a println, then what would have happened is it will start itself from a new line. Even though the above statement was only print, but you have the next statement is println, so it will start from a new line that will be from here. It won't print anything on the above line. That is the rule of print and println. Okay. So coming to the code now, for this code, we just need to print two statements that are hello, world and hello, Java. Do remember to write this as it is. If you do a S small and run the code, it will throw an error. See, this, it won't identify itself. So that's why you need to make sure that you write the S as common, because these are very small errors that might block your code. Okay, so this is the it. Hello in hello world, hello Java. Now if we try and submit it, look at the test cases. This is going to get submitted for sure. Okay. All right. So this is about it. So I'll just summarize it in once again. Okay, so when you click submit, then click on the test cases. There you will find the score whether you have passed or not. Okay, so this is about it. So I'll summarize it once again. So basic difference are there are two types of print statements that will print your output on this output screen, that are print and println. These are the main two statements that you use throughout your coding journey in Java. So print will print everything in the same line. It will continue from the last pointer of the file and will continue printing. If it is println, then it will print from the next line, that is a new line. If it is a println statement, or if the previous statement is println only, then it will print from the new line itself, because println doesn't allow you to print afterwards as well. But if it's not a println, even though it is a print statement, then also this will be the same result. So if I do a print and println, the result will be exactly same. The hello world in Java won't change. Okay, so that's the rule. I hope I'm clear now. Println basically provides you a \n at the end. Println or \n does the same thing. There's no difference. So if I do a print and \n, the result will be exactly same. There's no change in that. Okay, so there comes these data types. There is something called \n, that is for a new line, and there comes a \t. Okay, so that is for the tab space. So tab space varies depending on what the compiler set to default. In default, it is 5 to 6 characters. You can do this as well. Okay. If you don't put anything, it will just print an empty line. See, now if I, just copy paste this downwards and run this code, there will be an empty line in between. See, there's an empty line. Now let's comment this to see the difference. See, there was an empty line in between. Okay. All right. No, there's no shortcut. This is just, you need to type like in VS Code or something like that. You will be given some help, but get used to typing the entire thing, because there are editors where you won't be allowed to, and there might be tests where you won't be allowed to. So you need to do it in this manner only. Please ensure that you write it inside the main only and end it with a semicolon. All statements should be ended with a semicolon, otherwise they'll throw an error. So this is basically essential part of it. Okay. Okay, I hope this is now clear. You can have a look at the code. Any doubts in this question? Please don't mess up with this code. If you mess anything with these 4 lines of the code, your code will not work. And please wait for a little bit. You will understand these things a little detail in a little later in the course. Okay. Please wait for a while before, because these are a little deeper things that you study in Java and object-oriented programming, that you learn a little later in the course when you have a basic understanding of coding, what the coding essentially means. That way, you'll be able to do it very quickly. Okay. So I think, please ask me doubts related to this question. We'll reach to each and every question in this course. Don't worry. Okay. Skip these 2 lines. Don't ask me questions about these 2 lines. I won't be explaining it to you. Neither you will be able to understand these things. Okay. No, there's no rule for backslash. Backslash is just to provide a new line space. So what I can do is, if I remove this different statement and I, add the hello Java here, then also the output will be exactly same. There's no change, and we are done. Now, if I run the code, the output will still look the same and the code will still submit. That's it. Hello world and hello Java. Okay. Please wait for a while. I'm repeating it again. I won't repeat until the end of pre-course now. You won't be able to understand these 2 statements right now. Please wait for a while. When you are into the main course, you will get to know about these things. What does this mean? Till then, consider them as default. There are certain things that you need to, keep them as it is. You cannot argue or you cannot understand the reason behind why is it there. Because you need some understanding of certain things before you can understand this thing. That's why you need to avoid this. Okay. So yeah, I'll move on to the next question now. So let's start. Okay. 5 stars. In this task, you have to print 5 stars vertically and 5 stars horizontally. So vertically means in the row and in the column. That's what we need to do. So there are still multiple ways to do it. So we'll do a simple way. We need to print this particular pattern. Okay. Print ln we have returned star space star space star space star space stars, and there are 5 vertical stars as well after this. So there's 1 star. So let's remove this. Okay, now we need to print 5 of them. So 4 copy paste. 4 and 5. And we are good. Okay. So let's run this code now. And we can see our output is pretty much symmetric. Now there are multiple ways to do this. Many people will say, why not use only one print statement? We can do that as well. Just do a star backslash n, again star backslash n, again star backslash n. There are 3 stars now, 4 and 5. So if you comment this out, then also run the code, it will be the same output. There's no going to be no change. Okay, because we used backslash n instead of println. So we basically doing a new line in the same print statement itself. There will be no issues. Okay, so if I submit this code now, it will work. Test cases pass, and we are good to go. Any doubts in these two methods? So test case is basically a hidden challenge, a hidden input that will match your that will run your code, and based on that input, if the output matches, then the code will pass. So test case is basically some solutions that your code is runs against, so that we know whether your code is correct or not. Okay. So yes, let's move on back to pre-course. Refresh this. And let's start data types and gateway. Which throw line are you talking about? See, I'm telling you again and again, please avoid these 2, 3 lines. If you will stick to these, there are certain things that you need to consider as assumptions. That these will be there, so you don't need to worry about them. There will be libraries now in the scanner class that you need to assume that they are there, because these are inbuilt functions of a language that you cannot change or you cannot understand at this point, because for that to you need to get deep in type into Java. For that, first you need to understand basic syntax, like how is Java written, what does each statement in Java means. So that's why we first teach you the basic syntax, so that you're able to understand these things better. Okay. So next question, that is basically the input and output in Java. What does input and output mean? Till now, there was no input from user side, but there are programs. There's a program, say, to find the largest number in a set of integers. Say you're given 100 integers. Now you are asked to find the largest integer. Finding a largest 100 integers is not that tedious. But say if I give you 1 million integers and ask you to find the largest integer, then is it humanly possible to go through them within seconds? No. But for this, when you write a program for this, it is possible to do it within a second. So that's the difference. And that's why we have a function called input. So that's way the same program can run for multiple inputs. Otherwise, what will happen is you will have to feed the, you will have to change the program for everyone. So that way the program is less reusable. Now, if I have a generalized program where I, give the count of integers, that I'm going with the example of, finding the maximum in the array. So you're given a pool of integers. Now you need to find the max of them. So your program should work in such a manner that when it is given the count and all the values, then it should return the maximum. So that way, what will happen is you'll be able to use the same program for any number of integers, be it 10, 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh, 10 lakhs, or 1 crore. There won't be any issue. So that's why we have a function of input and output in Java, so that user can provide input according to its own convenience, and he can use the same program multiple times. The maximum, finding the maximum is just an example. You can use it for solving the equation, or calculating anything, or finding a name in a huge dictionary, finding a number corresponding to a name in a huge dictionary. So that way you will be able to go through very easily. So that's why there's a function of input in the program. Otherwise, you will have to change the program every time. That way it is not user friendly. What is user friendly is he'll just give you the data and you need to give him the output. He won't be touching the program again. So what as a user you are taught is just write something here, you'll get your output here. So that way we are taught. So that's why there's an option of input and output in Java, so that you don't have to customize or change your program again and again. Just the input and output will change, the program will stay the same. So that's the whole reason. Okay. So again, like the print statement, the scan statement also has some standard measures that you need to follow. There is no explanation why scanner is written as scanner, or why not something else, because again, each language will have its own thing. See, Java has scanner, then C will have, scanf. Then C++ will have C in. Then Python will have input. So these ways, every language has its own syntax. So whichever language you're coding in, you need to learn the syntax of that language. So that's why there are certain things that you need to consider by default. Okay, this is how it is. I need to mug it up. That's the thing. Please don't share code snippets. I won't be able to look at them. I've told you again. I'll tell you again. Okay. This is basically the object type. So scanner. Now you can name it anything, be it scanner or be it say SC or be it say input. Okay. So this way you take the input. Now what your task is. In this challenge, you must read 3 integers and print them. Each integer must be printed on 3 lines. So let's take the first integer int A, that will be input dot next int as written above. Okay. Again, the next integer will be int B equals input dot next int. Again, then int C, that will be input dot next int. Okay, coming to the data types. Okay, so coming to the data types, what are the data types that we are using here? So there are different data types that are defined in Java, that is int, then coming to float, then we have double, then we have string. These are the general data types. For the larger version of it, we have long int as well that you can use. That is just an increased range of int. Okay. So syntax, how like syntax I can explain is this. This is the way of defining the scanner, and this is the way of defining the input. That is the only thing that I can explain about syntax. I cannot tell you like why scanner is written as S capital. That is the way the syntax of Java is. So you need to learn it that way. I know it's a little tough to mug these things up, but there are certain things that we can't also help it out. When it comes to logic of the program, I can definitely explain you each and every part of it. Like why are we printing it in this manner? Why are we using backslash in? So these are the fashions. But the syntax, there's no alternative syntax for these things. What you can modify for your conveniences, you can just name it as S. Then everything is else will work. And this is it. This will also work the same. So whatever the scanner name you define, that is what you need to use whenever you take the input. Now, what we need to do, we need to print them. Again, there are multiple ways to print. So what we can do is a plus backslash n. Plus is a concatenation operator. When you try to concatenate two different type of variables, then you do it with plus. So otherwise, if what if I do directly a plus b, then it will just do a summation of a plus b. That means it will output 42 plus 100. That will be 142. I'll show you that example as well. And that's it. That's coming to the important point. When you are taking input from the user, make sure you provide the input in the custom test case. Now, if I run this code without providing the input, it will throw a error. So this is the main mistake that people do in the starting phase. They just run the code without providing you the input. That result in the Java mainline exception, because it is not able to find the integer that you want to provide. Okay. So let's provide the integers now. See, this is the exception I'm talking about. So this exception it will throw when you're not providing the input. I just written the input, so this input was not feeded. So when I run now, after providing the input, when I run this, it will work. Yeah, you can definitely like that too. No issues. Yeah, there are some other methods that will be for different data types. There will be different methods. So for next int, it is next int. For float, it will be next float. For double, it will be next double. For string, it will be next string. That's how it is. So these three libraries have included scanner itself. I'm not importing specific scanner, but yeah, these three libraries have the scanner inbuilt, so I don't need to import scanner in a different way. So this throw statement is just an addition. Like if your program is not running properly or working properly, this is the backup situation. So that's why it is good, always a good habit to write exception. Again, I'm saying, please don't worry too much about these lines. Ignore them the way they are. See, this is the correct output. Okay, we'll wait for the score to pass. You cannot just write a inverted commas backslash n because there are two different data types. So the Java is not able to interpret them. That's why. See, the test case is now accepted. Okay. Now what if I remove this? Okay. What will it output? It will output 142 and 125. That's it. Okay. Because this act as a board mass operation right now. But when there are two different data types, which cannot add itself, then there won't be any board mass operation because there's a string in between with the integer. Inverted commas is a string. This is an integer. So that's the difference between the two. Okay. String is basically a set of characters that are written together. Say when I write Acciojob, so that's a string that is termed as a string in your compiler or in your coding language. 40 to 100, 125 are not fixed. If I say provide you input as 234, 2343 and 1232. And now if I run this, this will be the same output. We don't really need concatenation. I'm just explaining you so that you know how to do these things. Otherwise, sometimes it becomes a hectic task to write all these print statements because it's a lot of waste of time. What I can simply do right now is just do this because there are only three print statements, so it makes sense. Like just write A, B, and C. This is also working the same. It is just that I wanted to print them all in one print statement. That's why. These packages are not of use, but still it is very healthy practice to import them because you don't know which all their packages are you're using in the program sometimes. So when you have detailed knowledge of each and every package, then you are good to go. Otherwise, it's a healthy practice to import these three packages so that you don't have an issue. So plus sign is basically used when you want to either add the two similar variables, but when you are printing two different data types in the same print statement, you need to concatenate them with a plus. Int in simple language is an integer. Integer we have all studied in math, that is natural number, whole number, and integer. Integer, that means negative, positive, anything from minus infinity to plus infinity. But in the coding language, we have ranges. That is minus to the power 31 to 2 to the power 31. The compiler is slow, I think, because of the server. It will get normal within a day or two. Don't worry. It's just the server issue. Please don't ask the same questions again and again, guys. It will waste your time as well because I want to cover the maximum. So if you have some unique doubts, ask me. See, string is a set of characters. That means whatever you write together as characters, this is an example of string. This is a string in Java or in any language. This is a string. These libraries have already included the scanner package itself. Dot star means all the libraries. That is what it means. Okay. So yeah, someone had asked like these integers are fixed, these integers are not fixed. Whatever values I changed, so I made 2, 3, 14, 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. So this is what is reflected here itself. Okay. If I remove any of this, then it won't work properly. That is a Java syntax that you need to follow. That's the thing. Please don't use such heavy terms, polymorphism right now. You are in the earlier stage of coding. I won't be able to explain you these terms. You need to wait a little. These classes and everything, these are object-oriented programming concepts that you will learn in a later stage in the course. When you go in the main course, you learn the basis of coding, then you will be able to understand these things better. That's why I'm asking you to wait a little. I guess the code is getting submitted to me at least. There should not be an issue with anyone. Yeah, that is for everyone. That's why I'm explaining the basic errors very well so that you understand what the error means. There will be error of semicolon that is clearly written, but the errors of say scanner class and not providing the input test case that are very difficult to understand. That's why I've showed you those errors. These errors means this. Okay. So make sure you don't go with it. Okay. See, individual doubt solving is not possible for me. If you're not able to submit or run your code, please join the live doubt sessions from 4 to 7 or 11 to 12. Those people are there to help you out. They'll be able to help you more because then you will be able to share your screen and clear your doubt pretty easily. So that way, the doubt gets cleared very quickly. See, all the test cases are passed for me. This is the code. I hope it is clear now. Okay. There are some demands for concatenation. Yeah. So this is the concatenation. So plus has two meanings in Java. I'll explain in very simple language now. Plus has two meanings in Java. The plus that is simple, that is there in everywhere in the math. See, a plus b means 5 plus 12 means 17 and everything. So that when the plus is there between two similar data types, they'll sum up. That means if two integers are summing or two doubles are summing, they'll add up. But when you are combining two different data types, that means there's a string and there's an int, and you want to print them in the same statement, in the same system.out.print statement, then you need to concatenate them with the plus. That is, in this case, the plus is a concatenation operator. Because character is a different thing. Character means it will take ASCII values. It is not integer. Integer, character, everything is a different term. Don't mix the terms. Character means whatever the alphabets that are there, alphanumeric values that are there, those are all characters. Integer means only numbers. All the numbers that will have digits, only digits. If there's a character in it, say A, B, C, 1A, that is no more an integer. That is itself a string only. That's the rule. Because you have been asked to read three integers, you must read three integers only. Because character means a single alphanumeric value. That doesn't mean one A will be counted as a character. No, only A or only one is counted as a character. That's the character. So yeah, you will be taught Java in full course. Don't worry, Uday will be teaching you that only. So he will be taking up today mostly if else conditionals and everything. So you don't have to worry. Yeah, that is correct. If you have losing in the initial stage, the space and time constraint doesn't matter that much because your codes are simpler. But when the code gets complex, these things matter. The more complex your code will be, the more time it will take. Right now, it's taking 0.174 seconds. If it exceeds 1 or 2 or 3 seconds, the code doesn't run because that is like too much time. So that's the power of computer. Whatever you are feeding the data, be 10 lakh, 1 crore, that will be solved within a second. That's the speed of computer. Okay, so I think I'm clear with this. Given a temperature in Celsius C, the task is to convert it into Fahrenheit using the following equation. F is equals to C into 9 by 5 plus 32. An integer representing the temperature in Celsius. Okay. What you need to do, you need to convert the temperature to Fahrenheit. Now you'll understand why input output is important. Because if you know, I hard code the centigrade value like and give me the Fahrenheit value for 35, then your code will work. But when say I want the value in Fahrenheit for 35 today, but tomorrow I want it for 40, then you need to go to the code again and change it and then run it. Instead, what you can do is take user input, he'll just feed 35 and the code will work. Okay. So we'll define the scanner class in the similar fashion. Now we have the scanner. So we'll take the input in Celsius that is equal to sc dot next int, since it's an integer input that is given to it, and integer represent the temperature in Celsius. Now in Fahrenheit, that is equal to Celsius initially. Now we'll apply the equation. So Celsius equals Celsius. What's the first thing? Let's multiply it by 5. So multiply it by 9. Sorry, Fahrenheit it is, not Celsius. Again, Fahrenheit equals Fahrenheit. Now divide by 5 as the equation says, because Fahrenheit is equal to Celsius. Okay. Now again, Fahrenheit equals Fahrenheit plus, that is the last part of the equation, 32. Now we print it. Println Fahrenheit. Now we'll provide the input first. What's the sample input? That is 25. Sharing the screen in the main class is not possible. Please join the doubt sessions. There you will be able to get individual attention, and there you'll be able to solve and share the screen. Everything will be there. Okay, why is it so slow? Any doubts in this code now? This will work, no worries. You can do everything in one line itself. There won't be any issue. Okay, yeah, you can do that as well, but yeah, you will need to use brackets pretty smartly. So what you can do is divide by 5 plus 32 and vote this statement is not needed. So if I comment this out and run the code again, the output will be same, 25 and 77. Let's submit this article at the same time. Yeah, you can write the formula direct. See, I've written the formula direct only. So if you want, you can use Celsius here as well. Yeah, you can write it. That's what I'm writing it here. Right? You can do it as Celsius as well. There won't be any change. See, all the test cases are passed. Okay. So if you want to do it this way, let's do it this way. Okay. So let's keep the solution commented. This will also work. There's no issue. Yeah, so Celsius into 9 by Fi plus 32. Test case is basically just a hidden test where the code is run against multiple user input and the output of the code is compared with the desired output. So if the output matches the desired output, then you're good to go. So what we have done in this code is basically going to be took the integer that is going to be say a temperature in Celsius, convert it into Fahrenheit using multiple ways. There are multiple ways to do it. You can directly use the formula that is there, or you can do it step by step. First multiply it by 9 and divide it by 5 and then divide plus add it by 30. Okay, so these are the two ways to do it. So if you want to comment the code, just select everything and then do a command slash of for Mac and control slash for Windows. Okay. There might be some issue with your code, Shubham. Please look into the code again and you will be able to figure these things out more quickly. Don't need to use, don't use float or something like that. It will be an integer only because float will print an extra point zero. That's why some codes might fail. That is a common error that people do. They use float. You cannot use float. When you click the submit button, click on the test cases. After that, you will get the result in this side and you'll get the response here that if your solution is accepted or not. Okay. Please, I won't be able to entertain these independent problems right now. That is not possible for me, like looking at hundreds of messages at the same time. So viewing a test case, that means you're viewing a hidden test case. So you won't be given the complete score. So some marks from your score will be deducted. That's what viewing a test case is. That means you're viewing a solution. So when you view the solution partially, your score will be deducted. So here comes the solution accepted. That's it. So we are done with this as well. Yeah, see, it's showing for me solved one. Okay. Test case error can't be checked. You need to figure out on your own. That's why it is a test case, so that you can go back to the code and debug. Test case error cannot be checked. You need to figure out on your own why your code is throwing error. Go back to the code, debug it, and then submit it again. That's the only. All right. Anything else in these two questions till now? See, everything is going to be tough at initial stages. You just need to go through those videos again, go through lectures again, solve each and every question, understand each and everything. Okay. So you need to print a right angle triangle of height 3 and lines 5. Height 3 and base 5. So that is a simple problem of system.out.println. So let's do that directly. In the first line, you need to do this. In the second line, very sorry. This, and in the third line, you need to do this, and we are done. Yeah, Java is a case sensitive language. See, this is not your time to solve. Please solve in the free time, that is you get from 11 today till 8 p.m. tomorrow. Right now, I'll be solving and I'll be entertaining all your doubts that are there for the question. I won't be giving you time to solve this. That is the way we will be working. Okay, yeah, correct. Someone pointed that there's no space. That is correct. So let's remove the spaces. And we run the code again. So yeah, this is going to work. Let's submit at the same time because there's nothing much in this one. You can use concatenation in this as well, like \n, since many of you wanted to use. So and that is it. This will also do the same job that our code did just now. Okay. See, 1, 3, 5. That's what we want. So it will submit definitely. Let's wait for a minute. And yeah, we have passed. So yes, target for the day is done. We have completed 2 modules today. So this is pretty much it. Any doubts? Backslash is basically used to go into the new line. Just select all the lines of the code and then press command slash or control slash. Command slash for Mac and control slash for Windows. Submission of assignment is straightforward. Just go to the assignment, write your code, submit, and look at the test cases. Here you will get the result. You can use the loop for the same question. Yeah, you can definitely use it, but it is not needed right now and it is neither taught. That's why I'm not using it. That's the process of submitting the code. I hope it is clear now. Okay. All right, then I'll stop sharing my screen. Yep. That's pretty much it from my side. Yes. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'll meet you tomorrow at same time. Please bring all your doubts and I'll be more than happy to cater them. Okay. So if you don't use test cases, you will never know if your code is correct or not. So that's the important part for test cases. Backslash n is basically to add a print to print everything after that from a new line. Backslash n means new line. Enter. in our normal laptop, when we press enter, we start writing from the new line in a notepad. So that's what the backslash means in the code. Yeah, the classes will be there on weekends as well for the pre-course. There's no off. You need to submit assignments on the same site, precourse.acciojob.com, and you need to submit them as soon as possible because there are certain eligibility criteria to give the coding test. So you need to submit certain assignments before you can get the coding test. That is mandatory. The coding test will be similar to assignments that are taught to you. We have been there, so don't worry. I won't be solving assignment number 3 today. We'll be solving it tomorrow. Don't worry. That's it. See, this much lectures are enough. Just solve the questions, solve them properly, listen to class properly, make notes of it. You'll be good to go. There's no need of extra study material, anything like that. When it will be required, you will be asked to go through the sites and links. Don't worry. Okay. So yeah, over to you, Dhruv. So Uday will be joining in a couple of minutes. So let's wait for it.
Hi everybody. Uday sir will be arriving very soon. We'll be starting off in 2 minutes, right? Guys, we'll be starting off in 2 minutes. Uday sir is coming. Uh, what I'll do is I am going to post a link, Discord link. You guys have to join there for asking any doubts, right?
Uh, Good evening, guys. I'm Uday. We'll be taking the class again, right? Yeah, great. I can see that there's some chat going on. Okay, cool. So we'll be starting our class. How's your doubt session? How did it go? Yeah, good evening. Good evening. It is. It should be shared in Discord channel. Just keep an eye on the recording section of Discord channel. I think you'll find. Okay. Great, great, great. Okay, okay, great. So we'll continue with our class. I think I'll be teaching further about the scanner class and a few other things. Okay. So if you want a break, like 2 minute break, or else we can start right away. Okay.
Uh, Uday, there was already a 10-minute break, so we can
Okay,
start
great,
now.
great, great, great. Okay. So let me start. Let me share my screen. No worries for the people who is having their first class today. You can go to the recordings. Okay. You can go to the classes. You can go to the PPT as well. Right. Yeah, Rudraj, try to like I'm not able to share the whole screen. I need to shift between the tabs every time I'm sharing, so it's sometimes problematic.
Okay,
So,
I'm making you the host right away so that you can share, right?
acha, okay. Guys, don't go for the shortcuts yet. Okay, so no, don't go for the shortcuts yet. Okay, try to write everything from the scratch as if it is to be written. Okay, once you become pro, then you can explore the shortcuts. Okay, for now, write everything in the way it is supposed to be written. Rudraj, like, is the recording not uploaded and shared with the students, or it is? Yeah, I'm not sharing my screen yet, bro. Don't worry. Mm, I think I'm having still the same problem. Okay, let's see. I'll just try to change few settings later. Okay, so let me share my screen for now. But today we'll manage it. Okay. Yeah, guys. So yesterday I taught you. So this was the revision. The red markings are the revision. So I taught you about the data types, right? So we'll just go through the, yeah, recording will be there. I think it is uploaded every day. Okay. So I'll just go through the recording. I'll just go through the yesterday's class ones. Just a quick revision. Okay. If you guys are fine with it. Okay. So they go. अच्छा हाँ हिंदी में अच्छा आई वाज आई थिंक इंग्लिश में पढ़ाना है ना ओके कूल okay cool guys so yesterday I said ki there are various types of data types okay for example like as yesterday I was talking about data types right so if it is a number it could be a integer or it could be a decimal value for if it is an integer you need to define the like any data could be stored in the data types right so that data need to be we need to provide the data type of that particular variable before you name it correct so in that way like for example int long you have four types of data types for storing the integers okay so this guy has a range this guy has a bigger range that is 8 byte and this guy has 4 bytes right that is 32 bits that is we can store up from minus 2 power 31 to 2 power 31 minus 1 right so this is around a 2 power 32 number of numbers right so from this to this right so it is okay so so in the long you have more data right I have given you an example of a sugar right if at all you are supposed to pick up 1 kg sugar you will be taking your container appropriately to the size you're carrying right if at all someone asks to bring 150 kgs of sugar you'll definitely take 200 kgs of tank right 200 kg capacity tank right so in that way I've told that to for having for doing the things in a better manner and not waste much of the memory because these things are heavy right will according to the range within which we operate we'll be choosing what data type we need to use okay so I have said that there are two parts of variables that is first is declaration and the other one is assignment this is called assignment operator where we will be assigning whatever is present on the right side to the whatever is present on the left side okay the assignment operator hai okay cool I showed how to how acha, I've just shared um, how declaration and assignment could be done in the single step right so it is so initially it was this one and then you're updating the value correct so you can do this thing in the single step that is int a equals to 10 okay so here we are first so this is the order of how you will be naming the variables okay correct so you can go for first you will be putting the data type of the variable okay what type of data you want to store and then the variable name okay and then the value correct so and then the value right so so यहाँ पे assignment operator this is the basic way ठीक है तो यहाँ पे int is a data type it could be char the variable name could be anything but the value and the data type should match ठीक है ऐसा नहीं कि character you will put character and you will put a string here that is not accepted right so बस break की बात हुई थी and then to store decimal values I said that there are two data types that is primitive data types that is float and double ठीक है so this guy could store up to 5 to 6 decimal places, and this guy could be storing up to 12 decimal places, right? And this is the range of these things, right? 1.7 into 10 power 308 and 3.4 into 10 power 38. So this is the range. Okay, we'll learn how this range has come later. Okay. chalo. Let me move forward. If at all this is clear with you guys, okay? The next value that is clear is next value. I've showed how double is initialized. I've showed everything, right? I showed how double is done, how integer is done, how character is done, and all these things I've made, and I've made it to print, correct? So I said there's a other data type that is called boolean, and this guy will only take 1 bit. This is the memory that is sufficient, because you need to only store the okay. You guys can only share the these things, right? You guys can only you need to store if it is 1 or 0. There is only binary. It's a binary value, right? Ki 0 ya rakho ya 1 rakho. It could be false, or it could be true or false. Agar if it is false, you'll put it. The value will be 0 in the memory. Okay. True करके कुछ नहीं होता ना. In the memory, 1 will be stored, right? So it is 1 bit. Okay. And then you have something called char data type, which will be storing the char in single quotes. Okay. Any character that you can type with your keyword A, B, C, D, Z at hash this one modulo operator, right? Anything. So even this guy has the same thing, char and whatever the name is, and then the character, right? This guy has 2 bytes. And I told ki every character has a ASCII value. Okay. So this ASCII value is the value that is corresponding to every character. Okay. So you might see some places there are adding 2 characters. इसका मतलब कि you're adding their ASCII values, and उस ASCII value से whatever is the character that we'll be getting, that character will be stored inside this data type. ठीक है? How can we store what? We store boolean in what? We can't store anything in the class. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm going for the English. Okay. Put value more than what type of error occurred. So guys, have you guys tried a little on your own? Ki you went, did you guys go to the compiler and did you guys try to code a few anything on your own? Ki isme kya hoga, isme kya hoga? Is that like, did you make your curiosity do something with the code? Okay, that's how you'll be understanding. Okay. Okay. So if at all you just look at my code, okay, you can't actually code. Any code should be written by your own. Okay. So I think someone is asking to repeat char. Okay. So char is basically a data type which will store a character. Okay, single character in single quotes. Okay. If at all you put it in double quotes, it will be a string, so it will give an error. If at all you put multiple characters and in the single quote, even that will give an error. Okay. And this is obviously the string, right? So this guy has 2 bytes. We'll come back to ASCII values and stuff. Don't worry. Okay. Okay. What is the difference between string and char? String is different and char is different. Char is a primitive data type. String is a class, right? And char, you can only store single character in a char data type, but you can store multiple, like you can store a sequence of characters, right? A, B, C, D. This is a string, but A is a character, B is a character, right? Correct. Yeah, definitely, Shubham. That's a polymorphism, and inheritance is in the object-oriented programming, right? When we use double or float are used when you're storing the decimal values. Okay? So let me move forward. Okay? So I pasted the code here as well. Okay? Yeah, I've showed data as well. Okay? This is a class. It's not right. It's a class. It's a class, but here you can see that it is how it is stored. Okay? So it can also have spaces in between. Okay? Even that's acceptable. Okay? Taking user input in Java. Then I thought this. Before I thought this, I made you guys. I showed you guys how string is there. Okay? String could be printed, right? Double is been assigned and declared, right? Character, floor. I've showed that any decimal value is understood as what? Double value. Okay. So this is called typecasting. Okay. So we'll learn this in few classes. Okay. In 1 or 2 classes, we'll learn this. So instead of double value, we are saying ki, acha beta, float, you are okay. So this value is could be accommodated in float. I'm guaranteeing it to you. So just saying that, you'll just put a character small f. If you put that, then it is accepted as a float value, right? In the same way, bool, you'll put it as false, right? And I started printing. I've used concatenation operator to to print variable and another string together using only one single print statement, correct? Char and this both in the same way, right? I say in this way, right? I printed this, everything, right? Correct. Double, I think it will give, right? It won't give garbage exactly, okay? But you'll understand when you learn bit manipulation, okay? So I've showed all the data types, ठीक है? String, double, char, float, int, ऐसे कर करके I started printing it, okay? That's it, ठीक है? उसके बाद let me move forward. Practically you need a way to input values, yeah? Varna it's not possible, right? Everything you can't hard code it in the code. When code is running, at that time you need to input something from the user as well. Okay, the machines around you are interactive, right? That's why they are machines, right? So you want the machine to interact with you. The first step of interaction is that you guys will be inputting some values, right? And that's the most important thing. Okay. So for that, there's a class. Yeah, I didn't explain typecasting yet. We'll do that. Okay. We'll do that. Okay. Double and float. Yeah, double means it's a data type where you can store a values, much larger values compared to this one, compared to float. Okay. Okay, guys. So let me continue. Okay. So basically, we'll be getting a scanner. Okay. We'll be getting a scanner. So scanner is a class. Okay. We'll be getting it into our code by using this statement on the top. Okay. On the top, you'll be using the statement. Okay. And this statement, we'll use this to create an object of a scanner. Okay. We'll use this. We will use this. Okay. So we'll come back to how this new is working and everything is working. Just focus on the functionality. This is what I said yesterday. So this object, using this object, we'll be taking. So instead of predefined value like this, int x equals to 10. So it's a predefined value, right? So instead of that, again, like if you use sc dot next int, this is a method. Okay. So this is a function. Understand as a function. If I put a statement like this before a variable, what will happen is that this guy scanner will scan the console key, and if at all nothing is written, it will wait for me to write something. Okay. And I write it, then it will scan it and it will understand that this guy is a integer. Okay. And he will put it into the integer variable. Okay. So from user only int. Okay. In the same way, next float. Okay. This guy will scan the area and it will understand that as a floating value and it will put into the float variable. Okay. The same way, next double will work. Sc dot next will work to scan a string. Okay. String till you encounter a space. Okay. If at all you encounter a space character, okay, then it will break. If at all I write certain things like Uday Shino, if I write Uday Shino in the console, only Uday will be taken because after Uday you have a space. Okay. But if you want the whole line till it changes to the next line, till enter is clicked, right? You will be using sc dot next line. So this is the scanner object, right? So this is about scanner object. So there are other certain things as well. So are you guys import? No, it's wrong actually. So it's not dot, it's just import java dot util dot char. So next char doesn't exist. Okay. Next char doesn't exist. So for you want to take a character value. Okay. So I've written the code as well. Okay. I'm inputting the code and then it is taking the value. I'm taking an int value. I'm putting it into int, taking a float value. I'm putting it into float and then I'm printing it. Okay. So this is cool. But if you want to if you want to take an input of character, this can't work. This doesn't exist in Java. Okay, this doesn't exist in Java. If you want to take a single character, what you'll do is sc dot next. Okay, next you will get the string, right? But what you'll do is you'll just do this thing. char at, so it is a method of a string. Okay, again for now understand it in this way, char at 0. Okay, 0 matlab like the first character of the string. Okay, Uday, if at all I type Uday, so this will be having the index 0, this is 1, this is understood as 2, this is understood as 3, right? So in that, if at all I'm putting char at 0, right? So it means that it need to take the first character. So in the same way, when I do sc dot next dot char at 0, it will basically get me the string, the first character, and put it into the and put it into variable c, right? So this is what I'm explaining till now. Okay, so बस इतना ही पढ़ा है. So this is a new thing. Okay, to take char as input. Okay, um, all the data structures will be taught, man. Don't worry, all the data structures will be taught. The stacks, queues, linked list, heaps, okay, graphs, trees, everything will be taught in this course. Okay, don't worry about it. Cool. So any doubts? Any other doubts? Okay, repeat. I'm just getting repeat. ठीक है. So basically repeat कुछ नहीं है. देखो, this guy, so what we do with this guy, this is used to take string, right? And this is to pick up first character of string. So this is the first character of string, and this is to take the string. Okay. So in this way, you can take input in char. Okay. So this is something. This is a method of a string. So when you learn string class, okay, at that time you will be understanding this. But for now, I just gave you a brief idea. Every as I said, string is a collection of characters. So every character is assigned an index. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3 in that way. Okay. So this guy is 0. So you will be picked up, right? So बस इतना ही है. हाँ, 1 or 2 you can put, but it is just that you need to input a proper string, and that character will be picked up and put into the character. Okay, so you need to input a proper string for that. Okay, yeah, you can do that obviously. ठीक है, अगर तुम्हें कुछ लग रहा है कि कर सकते या नहीं कर सकते, okay, just like you can try it on your own. ठीक है, and just try to logically fit this thing. ठीक है, if it is working or not. ठीक है, it will be working definitely. ठीक है, so I'll just show you guys an example as well. ठीक है. So I have to take char as an input. Yeah, definitely. What will be the string for string and double input? String ke liye, as I said, guys. Yeah, string ke liye, as I said, it is sc dot next. है ना? For like this will be taken for till a space value. ठीक है? And sc dot next line is till will change the line. ठीक है? ठीक है? I'm getting the repetitive doubts again and again. ठीक है, but no worries. I'll just try my level best to explain you guys. ठीक है? So let me pull this thing. Okay, just a second. Right, we can write it. Yeah, we can write a full string, and the first character. Yeah, I'm showing the character. It is opening. My IntelliJ ID is opening. Just a second. Yeah, I'm showing the character. Just a second. Shush. Guys, don't get confused. Don't get confused. I'm telling again and again. This thing is to take input till we encounter a space. This is to take string till we change the line. Cool. So that's the difference. That's the difference. I can also demonstrate you guys the same thing. Okay. So this is my IntelliJ ID. I think someone has asked me to do it here. So let me do it. I think it is not shared yet, right? So let me share it as well. Okay. Yeah. Just a second. I'm just putting up. I'm just making a new project. Cool. So guys, can you see this? I'm sharing my screen again. हाँ screen. अब तक खोला नहीं भाई, रुको शांत. ठीक है. So the same thing, okay? The same thing. It is that में एक class है, ठीक है? उसमें एक public static void. Sorry. So there's a class, okay? And there's something called public static void main, which will be the entry point for your code. ठीक है? Entry point. ठीक है? So in this curly braces, whatever you write, that will be run, right? So let me show you guys how I'll be taking the input of a integer. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll do system.out.println, right? And I'll be writing something like enter a character. Okay. So and then I'll just create a scanner class, right? And you can see that I need to import. See, this thing will automatically do import scanner for me, right? I'll just put it as sc equals to new scanner and system.in. Okay, cool. So this is done. Okay, scanner equals to new scanner system.in. Now I'll use this object to get any kind of char c equals to ch equals to sc dot next. So this is to get the string and then char at 0, right? So now I'll be getting this as the right. So let me print this. Key the entered character is and let me concatenate with this operator. So a string and this thing will be printed in the same line. Okay. So let me run this. How to run this? There's a run option, right? So you'll just press on this. Okay. So what will happen is that it will run. Okay. It will be यार आईडी के बारे में इतना मत सोचो यार, कुछ भी चल जाएगा. ठीक है. I used to do Android Studio. I used to work on Android Studio. So I just find the IntelliJ ID to be much better, right? Because it is similar to that. So you can see that they are asking for enter and character. Okay. So I'll just put U or I'll just put A. Okay. So you can see that enter character is A, right? So I can do the same thing again. I can run this loop again. Okay. So this time, as someone said, I'll just put something like I'll just type Uday. Okay. When you can see that Uday U is the first character, so it is happening, right? In the same way, if at all you want to just take an so again and again I'm showing. So this thing I've showed yesterday as well. Okay, a string, right? So string char sc dot this one, right? So let me do this. Okay, so I'll just write enter a character bola, lekin I'm just taking an input of a string, right? So I'll just type ki today is Friday. Okay, right? So let me enter it. Enter karunga. You can see that only today has been taken into account, and that is sc dot next. If I do next sc dot next line, at that time, let me run. Okay, and you can see today is Friday. Okay, let me enter. You can see that today is Friday is the whole string that's been taken, and that is exactly the difference between um, sc dot next and sc dot next line. Okay, this will only take till the space, and this will take till the line ends. Okay, right? So is my voice breaking? So string, right? So this is like, this is a string that I'm inputting, right? So this is a string, you can see, right? So I just need to change this, enter string is, right? This is the only difference. Okay. What is the string here? When we write in the middle, it is only taking a word, not a line. No, it is taking the whole line, you can see, right? So it is next. Next will only take one word. Okay. Sc dot next will take only one word. Sc dot next line, whole statement. ठीक है. For example, यहाँ पे लिखूंगा tomorrow is weekend. ठीक है. So if I type this, the tomorrow is weekend is been printed. You can see that tomorrow is weekend is printed, right? It means that ch inside ch the whole value is present. Are you getting it? Correct? Right. So that's the difference, right? Int equation. What do you mean by that? What is SC? SC is basically an object of a scanner. Okay. So you don't know what object is, but for now understand that it is something that is our instance of a scanner. Okay. It is a working candidate of scanner. ऐसे समझ लो. Okay. Cool. I think it's pretty much clear, guys. So let me move forward. So in the same way, like SC, just SC dot next, SC dot this one, right? You have multiple things, right? SC dot next int, next float, okay? Next double. For every primitive value, you have this thing, okay? Next double, except character, okay? Except char, everything is there. Char ke liye you'll do this thing. Caret 0. ठीक है. SC dot next byte, SC dot next short, सब होंगे. Okay. Cool. Everything is there except char. Okay. So let me write this thing in the PPT as well so that you can revise it. Okay. So let me write it here. I know it's not being shared, but let me write it anyway. Okay. Or else I'll just share this as well. So is this visible, guys? The black screen is visible, the PPT. Yeah, we can write any word rather than SC. It's a variable, right? No, it's not visible. Okay, cool. Okay, let me just make this guy visible. So is this visible now? I'll make the changes accordingly. Okay, it is visible, right? Black screen is visible. Okay, cool. So let me write all this thing. Okay, SC dot next, SC dot next dot caret dot next line. Okay, SC dot next int. You guys know what is used for what, right? So I'm not going to write the definitions again and again, right? Double SC dot next float. ठीक है. SC dot उसके बाद क्या? SC dot next byte. SC dot next boolean, yeah, right? And SC dot next short, everything. Okay. So except char. Okay. So just remember this thing. And there's another method. So you can. So let me just show you guys. Yeah, sure. Don't worry. So let me just show you guys how this is done. Okay. So when I'm doing SC dot and doing something, SC dot next, you can see कि कितने सारे like how many many types of functions are there. You can see everything is been listed, right? So in this way, everyone has their own way of doing, right? So what I'll do is has next int. So let me tell you about this function. So this guy will basically return a boolean value. Okay. So this guy basically says कि abhi in the console, is there any int present? Has next int. Okay. scan करके let me know if there's any int, right? So let me print b, ठीक है? So now enter a number, ठीक है? I'll just mark it as number and let me print it, ठीक है? So this particular guy will return a boolean value. That boolean value will be stored in b and that will be printed. Okay, so let me run. देखो enter a number बोला, I'll be entering 89, ठीक है? Then I'll be getting answer as true. हाँ, there's a number called 89, ठीक है? So I'll be running it again, ठीक है? So this time I'll be writing something like कि 7.9, ठीक है? So you can see I'm getting the value false because it's not an int, okay? It's a float or it's a double value, right? It's a floating value. It's not an integer, right? And that's the reason why I'm getting it, ठीक है? So again, I'll write Uday. You can see I'm getting false. Uday is a string. It's not an int. So this guy basically returns if he has any int or not. That's it. Okay. So jada don't stress yourself much on this. Okay. I'm just saying that there are multiple things present. So you just need to give attention to these things, but not focus, right? Correct. So guys, let me go back and I think that's it. Like that's it for the scanner. Okay, I think this is sufficient enough, right? You can you can basically take input in this way and you can perform operations in whichever way you want. You can take integer, you can just add a few things. Okay, so today I'll be telling you about another topic, that is conditionals, okay, which will be really necessary for you guys to understand. Okay, so shall we move forward? Yeah, it is clear. Byte is just taking byte. Okay, let me move forward. Explain package. Yeah, package. We'll come back to package. Okay, don't worry about package right now. Everything will be taught. Okay. So अभी से ध्यान देना, ठीक है? अगर जिसको कुछ समझ नहीं आ रहा, like you can like we can. So byte is another data type I've told, right, Kavita? It's 8 bits is called 1 byte, right? So it's a small value कि 8 bits में कितना value store हो सकता है, that value only. Try it on your own, okay? If at all you find some doubt, I'll be definitely explaining, ठीक है? So I'm wanted leaving few things for you to explore, okay? I'm just giving you the direction, okay? Has is nothing, man. It will just say if integer is present or not in the console, in an input console, bus. Right? If at all the value present is some 7.9, it's not an integer, right? So it will give a boolean value. 7 hai, yeah, 9 hai. Like in that will definitely give a true value because it's a cool. It's an integer, right? Cool. So let me move forward, right? So this part is called input console. Okay. Okay. Let me move forward. So let me go back to the PPT. Cool. I think PPT is visible, right? So today we'll be learning conditionals. ठीक है? Okay, guys. So basically, this thing, whatever you're going to learn, this is going to be the most fundamental and the most important thing yet. Okay? And important. Okay? Because you will be extensively using this thing everywhere throughout, like the whole coding part, you'll be doing the same thing, this thing only, right? So I'll tell you what is this and why it is important, right? Okay, so basically you have so you have a program, right? So you know what's a program. It's like a set of instructions you'll be giving it to the computer, जैसे कि the way how I'm scanning, ठीक है, the way I'm printing, first की print, ठीक है, and then scan, right, and then perform some operations like addition, multiplication, जो भी है, and then operations, some operations, right, and then you will print. So these are the, like, this is the basic code which I showed you, right? It is working in this way, in a sequential order, 1 2, in that way, ठीक है, correct? That's program, right? uh, but like this is working in a sequential fashion. Agreed? Cool, guys. Guys, ये सब मत करो यार. I'm just opening the chat again and again just to see if you guys have any genuine doubts. Okay, so don't spam unnecessarily, don't fight in the chat. Okay, so be patient and just keep listening, and if you have a genuine doubt, make it like a more authentic, like when I'm opening the chat. Okay, just focus on the class for now. We'll have some time for the fun as well at the end. Okay, okay, cool. Okay, cool. So the code will be running in a sequential fashion. Okay, so in this way, right? So do you think, like, why are you programming? Like, why are you programming? To solve the real world problems, right? Your like every code, every application you're seeing, every mobile application, every computer application or any web application, jo bhi hai, anything you're seeing which is working, okay, it has a kind of coding inside it. Even the lift has a coding inside it. Jo lift jo hota hai na, the thing which will go up and down, even that has a coding inside it, key what will run, right? Everything has a coding inside it, right? So you're basically solving the real world problems, right? So do you think solving such real world problems can only be like simple flow of code? No, it can't be simple flow of code, right? It can't be just simple code of flow of code. Some cases mein tumhe, like, you need to perform a different action. In some cases you need to perform a different action, right? So I'll just show you. Just a second, let me complete this statement. Good. So as a, like, it's not that key 1 2 3 4 you ran and you solved a problem. That's not how simple it is, right? So at some time you will be taking some decisions, right, in your real life. For example, uh, like if there's a, like, for example, if there's a road, okay, if there's a road and you have right and you have left to go, that you're going and you found that you have left and you have right, okay. So you need to make a decision ki kya karna chahiye. If at all your house is on the left side, right, and playground is on the right side, right, if you're feeling sleepy, you don't want to play, you will go to left, right? So you're basically not doing this thing. Or if you're want to play, okay, and you don't want to go home, so you'll take a right decision, right? So at every point in your life you'll be making some decisions. Like, for example, if there's some sale, right? Decisions, okay, so decisions are the important. If at all there's a sale, okay, so sale, if you're having some 90% discount, okay, so all definitely you'll buy, okay, buy clothes. If there is no sale, so you don't go for shopping, right? So this is one of the example, because you don't have so much of money, right? So if an ATM machine is working, right, if at all a ATM machine is there, right, so this guy, you'll say ki withdraw me 5,000, okay. So this guy say checks your balance, okay, he'll say that you only have 500 rupees with you, how can you withdraw 500? So get out of here. He'll just print a bill and say that enough, not enough balance, right? So there's a decision it is making based on the balance that is available, right? So everywhere, like in real life, you can see in one case something will happen, in other case something else will happen, right? So in one condition, if the condition is true, there's a certain type of code that will be running, okay. In the other case, a certain other type of code will be running, right? And that's really the most fundamental thing of programming as well as the real life. And if you're programming, right, if you're trying to basically try to program to solve the real life problems, you need to take this into the consideration as well, right? So for that, you have so let me introduce you to the conditional keywords. Okay, so there are three conditional keywords I'll be introducing. Okay, one is else, so one is if, other one is else, the other one is else if. Okay, these three things. So we'll visit one by one. Okay, don't worry. Okay, one after the other we'll be visiting. Okay, so let me continue. Okay, so first let's talk about if. Okay, if, so let me tell you the syntax of if. Okay, if okay, like after if you will be having a bracket. Okay, so in the bracket you will be having a condition. So what is this condition? I'll come back to this. And then you'll have a curly brace, opening brace, and then the closing brace. Okay, what this condition is, this will be something that is evaluated to a boolean value. You know what's a boolean value, right? True or false. Okay, so this is something that will be returning a boolean value. So I'll tell you how to write a condition, but right now trust me, key, there's something called boolean value that will be written. Okay, if this condition is true, you will write some code here. Okay, so there's some code here, right? And if the condition is true, if condition is true, matlab the boolean value it returns is true, then this code will run. Okay, and if it is not true, this code will be skipped. You will be coming the control to here. Okay, so let me explain you using an example. Okay, so don't worry guys, don't worry. So for example, you have a line of code like this. Okay, one, so this is the first line of code. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so these are the lines of code that are present to you. Now I'll be writing something like 1, 2. Okay, I'll just put if here, and I'll put a condition here. So I'll tell you what condition, how can you write a condition. Just bear with me. At the end of the class, you'll understand. Okay, in this braces, I'll put 3 and I'll put 4. Okay, and then I'll close the braces. Then I'll put 5 and I'll put 6. Okay, so there are two conditions. One, if this condition is true. Okay, if this condition is true, the flow of execution. Okay, flow of execution will be कि 1 will be run, 2, उसके बाद since this is true, as I said, this code will run if this condition is true, right? So since this condition is true, okay, so 3 will run, 4 will run, and then it will come out of this thing, 5 will run, and then 6 will run. Cool, this is the flow of execution if condition is true. Cool, so in a case where this guy is false, okay, false. Okay, so flow of execution if cond is false. Okay, so it will be 1, 2. As I said, if this condition is false, these things will not run. Okay, so this will not run. 5 and 6 will be run. So this will be the flow of execution. So can you see, based on one condition, okay, based on one condition, I can say do this like, or else skip this thing, skip this particular number of steps. So this is what if a keyword does. It's a keyword in Java. It is present in C. It is present in C++. Like it is a general thing. Okay, but for syntax, so let me tell the syntax. So this is the syntax of this. Okay, there will be if, you will be putting a condition, and then you will be putting a braces, curly braces. Cool. Chalo. So if it is false, this thing will be executed. But obviously, this is how it is supposed to be, right? For example, initially you will be asking, like, for example, ATM like understand it as a ATM's code, right? You'll be asking for what is the amount of amount you would like to withdraw. You'll just check based on the condition. does the user has a proper bank balance? If yes, then give him the money and then give him the bill. Varna, don't just ask him and then give him the bill ki nahi hai, paisa nahi hai. Okay, there's no money inside your bank account, right? So it is like a real world example, right? So you'll just check ki, like you're going to the home and then you'll just find ki if there's a sale. Yes, if there's a sale, go and buy and then go to home, right? Agar if there's no sale, then go to home directly, right? If you want to play, go and play and then go to home. Varna, if you don't want to play, go home, right? Correct. I think this is cool, right? So this is you're understanding this thing, right? I didn't practically show you guys because you guys don't know what is a condition. Okay. So once I explain you the condition, then I can go and practically show you guys how this is done, right? Okay, sure, go. Don't worry, guys. Just bear with me. थोड़े देर, है ना? 11 o'clock तक pro बना. Like I'll make you guys the pro. ठीक है? In this thing. ठीक है? Don't worry. Cool. Okay. So for you guys to understand the conditions, okay? So what is this condition? What is that thing that will be evaluated into a Boolean value? Okay? You guys need to understand that. Okay? Yeah, if else is necessary. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll explain it to you. Don't worry, guys. In condition is compulsory to use. Yeah, definitely. See, based on, so it's a simple thing. If you'll put something in the bracket, that is the condition, and then you'll have something, you'll have a curly braces, right? And you'll have a code, right? So if this condition is true, then this code will be executed, right? And if this condition is false, this code will be skipped, like the control will go here. Okay? Initially it was here. Okay? It based on this condition, if it is a true value or a false value, you'll be going to run this. If it is false, then you will be running here too. Okay? So I'll explain you what condition is, then we can go to practical thing. Yeah, definitely. Don't worry. अभी practical compiler के पास जाऊंगा ना, पहले condition तो बना लो. I need to make a condition, right? So let me tell you. So basically, we'll be learning operators now. Okay? Really important things. To make the conditions, I'm just teaching the operators. Okay? So what are operators? Okay? So first, I'll be talking about relational operators. Cool. So this guy, relational operators, will be returning a Boolean value, Boolean result. Cool. So let me tell you what. Key. I showed you guys what are variables, right? So there are, for example, there are two variables, A and B. Okay. So let me tell you the first operator, that is this one. Okay. So this is double equal to symbols. Okay. So as I said, this is an assignment operator, right? So it is not same as mathematical operator. So mathematically, there should be something here as well, right? So for that, if you put two equal to symbols, then that's called equal to operator. Okay. So this thing, equality operator, you can call it equality operator. Okay. So this thing, what it does is, it is basically like you will be having two operands here. Okay. So you'll be having two operands, that is A and B. Okay. A could have any value. Okay. B could have any value. For example, if A has 5 in it and B has 5 in it, then this guy, this particular statement will return true. Okay. If this has some value like 7 and this guy has some value like 8, this guy will return false. That's the difference. Correct? Correct, guys? Right? So don't fight in the chat box, man. Don't fight. Okay. Yeah. So it will take, so this is called an operator, right? This is called an operator, and these things are called operands, right? So on two operands, this thing will be working. Okay. So if the both the variables have the same value, it will be returning true. If both the variables have different values, it will be returning false. Yeah. Cool. So let me tell you about another operator, that is second one. So let me close this thing. Okay. Similar to this, there's something called not equal to, inequality operator. Okay. So here it is also a binary operator. It will be working on two operands. Okay. Like this. Okay. So if this guy has a value 5, and if this guy has a value 4, okay, then this will be returning the value true. This is unequal. Only they should be unequal with each other. They should not be equal with each other, right? Not equal to. You can spell it as not equal to. Okay. So if both of them have the value like 3 and 3, then it will return a value false. It is quite opposite to this. Okay, it is quite opposite to this. Cool. Cool. It is देखो, if you do a equals to b, then what happens is that b का value will be going to a. Okay, because this is an assignment operator, right? But here, if we do a equals to a, this will return a boolean value. If both of them have the same value, then it will return true, वरना false. Got it? Cool. चलो, shall I move forward? Okay. Cool. चलो. Great, man. You guys are understanding. You guys are really great. Right? चलो, let me move forward. अब देखो, I'll be teaching something else. ठीक है? The other operator, that is less than. ठीक है? So less than operator, obviously a less than b. ठीक है? या a less than 5. ठीक है? If this guy is having some value 4, if this guy is having some value 5, right? So in this case, it will return the value true. That is 1. ठीक है? And if this is if the value is 10, okay, in that case it will return a value false, right? It's not necessarily variables, you can put numbers as well. Okay, operands could be anything, right? So for example, is 10 less than 5? What do you think will return here? Can you guys put it in the chat box? False, right? So it will return a value false. Okay. Okay, if 10 is less than 20, this guy will return a value true. But this is less than operator. Okay. Yeah, definitely we'll take a break. Don't worry. Let me complete the relational operators and then we can take a break. For 5 minutes we can take a break and then we can continue. Cool. There's something called greater than. Okay. So it is basically this one. Okay. The same thing. Okay. If this guy is 10, this guy is some 8, then true. Same thing. 10 is greater than 20, false. Right? 10 is less than 5, false. 10 is less than 100, true. Correct. A is less than 100. ठीक है? अगर like any number less than 100, कुछ भी type करूँगा, it will give me a true value. Any number that is greater than or equal to 100, ठीक है? मतलब 100, 101, 102 in that way. So it will give me a value false. बस simple, right? 99, 98, कुछ भी. This will be giving my value the true, value false. Cool. Correct. Chalo, there's one more operator. Let me complete all the operators, okay? All the relational operators. There's one more operator that is less than or equal to. Okay? You know what it means, right? A is less than or equal to. Okay? If this guy is some value like 8, 9, 10, okay? Yeah, 1 jo bhi hai, okay? It will give me the value true. Okay? 5 is less than or equal to 6, true. Okay? 6 is less than or equal to 6, true. 7 is less than or equal to 6, false. Correct. The same way, there's another operator that is greater than or equal to. Okay. You got the feel, right? So 20, 21, 22, kitna bhi, it will be giving me the value true. A is greater than or equal to 1, and this guy is something like 0. In that case, we will be getting false. Okay. 10 is greater than or equal to 15, false. 20 is greater than or equal to 30, it is false. Okay. That's it, guys. Like we can take a break. Okay. What this operator called? This is called relational operators. We are relating two values, right? So all of them are binary operators. Matlab though, like you can work, like you need to put two operands on the left, on the right, and based upon their values, you will be getting the Boolean result. Okay. That's the most important thing. Okay. So after this is done, okay, you will understand how relations are built. Okay. And I can easily write a code. Okay. So we'll definitely code. Okay. We'll meet in 5 minutes. Okay. We'll take a 5-minute break. Many people are demanding this, right? So just have some water. Just refresh your mind. Okay. I'll also have some water. Okay. Cool. So cool, guys. Chalo, I think even I'll go and have some water. Just try to assimilate everything. Okay. Just try to revise everything. Okay. Don't worry. Okay. Everything will be cool, right? Just trust me. सब पढ़ा दूंगा. Everything will be taught. Okay. Don't rush the things. Do it everything slowly. Okay. Chalo. Yeah, guys, I think we can start, right? Hmm. Okay, great. I can see you guys are having some constructive discussion. Great. So, shall we continue, guys? Hello. Yeah, sure. Chalo, 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 bas. Okay. Okay, cool. So, you guys learned how to write a relational operators, right? So, a small thing, I'll just show you guys how I'll just open up हमारा screen share, and then I'll just show you guys how. Okay. So cool. Just remove this. Let me remove this. So I think everyone can see this thing, right? Everyone is seeing, right? Right. Cool. Okay. Cool. So I'm just writing something like key starting of the program. Okay. I'll just write something like ending of the program. Cool. And यहाँ पे you'll be watching something like key. I'll be writing something like int a equals to 5. Cool. And if a is greater than 10, it means that, okay, it means that I'll just print something like, so there could be multiple statements, not only one statement. Okay. So it is supposed to be a is greater than 10. Okay. So chala. Let me run this program. So I can see that starting of the program has been printed, ending of the program is printed, but this statement is not being printed because a greater than 10 is returning a false value. Okay, it's returning a false value. Okay, since this is false, we are not, so I need to make it true. Make it true ke liye, I need to increase the value of 10 more than. Okay, so let me run it. Okay, starting of the program, a is greater than 10, and then ending of the program. Cool. So you can see that this statement is run after this particular thing is true, correct? Right? So I can make this as well. I can just print key what this guy is returning basically, right? If a is greater than 10, let me just run it. Kya hoga? Say is greater than 10 will return a boolean value, correct? So you can see that true is been printed, and yes, this thing is been printed, right? If at all it is something like 1, in that case you'll be printing false, and then this statement will not work. Cool. And see false, and this is not working. That's exactly what's happening. Right? Cool. So yeah, I can use scanner class as well. ठीक है. Not a big deal. ठीक है. Something like sc equals to, see, I'm putting something like capital 1, right? Correct. So I'll just write a ke jagah, I'll just write it as something like sc dot next int. Okay. So I'll be taking input from the user only. Okay. So I'll just remove this statement as well. Cool. So I'll write something like key enter a value. Cool. And let me run it. Chalo, let's see. Okay. There's some does not exist. What happened? Acha, there's a bad input that happened. Cool. No worries. Cool. So they are asking me to enter a value. Okay, I'll enter a value like 56. Okay. So let me put enter, and you can see that a is greater than 10, and the ending of the program has been printed. Now let me run it again. Okay. Enter a value. I'll write enter 5. Okay. Ending of the program happened. This statement is not been printed. So now I'm getting the value from the user, right? So in this program, I've showed what if statement can does. I showed what how to use relational operators. I've showed how to take input as well. Everything combined, right? So it's clear, mostly clear for you guys, right? Nah, bro, nothing is much tough, man. Programming is not that tough. Cool. Chalo, let me go back to the PPT. Okay. So these are the relational operators you learned. Okay. So there's something called logical operators which you're going to learn now. Okay. Okay. There's something called logical operators. So let me tell you, there are three operators which I'm going to teach you. Okay. Logical and logical or and logical not. Which one, man? Which one do you want me to explain? The code part. Acha. Let me go back to the code. Okay. So let me explain each and every value. I think it is visible, right? The code is visible, correct? Right? The coding part is visible. So basically, this line is just printing statement, print statement. Cool. And this is creating a scanner object. Cool. And this is print statement. And this is taking input, taking an integer as input. Cool. That is it. Okay. Now what I'll do is this particular thing is using if statement. So this guy is a relational greater than relational operator. And rest all the print statement. So basically I'm taking an input into A and that value is being compared with value 10. If it is greater than 10, this statement will be printed. If it is not greater than 10, this will be skipped and this will be printed. But this is the syntax of if I've explained, right? Right. So this is a condition, right? A greater than 10 is the condition. Okay. And it got evaluated to a Boolean value. Boolean could be true or false. If this guy is false, then this won't be printed. This will be printed. And if this guy is true, right? And whatever is present in the curly braces, that will be printed. But it's not simple, Rocco. Just make it as simple as possible, man. Don't confuse yourself with much of the things. So this is the only thing which I've explained, right? There could be multiple statements as well. Okay? There could be multiple statements. Yeah, you can print the value of A, you can do a lot of things, right? But that's not the point. Okay, point is I'm just checking, I'm just seeing key based on the condition, am I able to perform some operations or not? Bas. Okay? So chalo, let me move forward. Okay? यहाँ पे देखो. So there are three operators, that is logical and logical or and logical not. Okay? What is logical and is you have so it is represented by as two ampersand symbols. Okay, in this way. Logical or it is two hyphen, like two pipes. Okay, two pipes. Okay, and logical not is basically exclamation mark, one exclamation mark. So this is a unary map. Okay, so this will be operating on only one operand, and these things will be operating on two operands. Okay, I tell you what. Okay, so let me tell you about logical and. Okay, that is and. Okay, so you will be writing one condition here on the left side, that is condition one. Okay, condition two on the right side. Okay, right? So let me not put so many brackets, it will be confusing for you guys. Okay, let me erase few brackets. Okay, condition 1, condition 2. Okay. Let me erase this one as well. Condition 1, condition 2. Okay. So there are two conditions. You know what condition is, right? You can build it using relational operators, right? If you put two ampersand signs in between them, what will happen is, if this guy is true and if this guy is true, only in that case the whole thing will be true. Okay. So let me write a table. This is called truth table. Okay. So A, B, and A ampersand B. Okay. So A is a condition that will be evaluated to true. B is a condition that will be evaluated to true and false. Okay. So this guy is true. Okay. This guy is 1, malab true. This guy is 0, that is false. In this case, it will be false. Okay. If this guy is true, this guy is this guy is false, this guy is true, then A ampersand ampersand B will be false. Okay. If both of them are false, even in that case, it will be false. Only in this case, when both of them are true, only in that case, it will be true. So I can write statement like if both the statements, if both the conditions are true, then the statement is true. Cool. Right? That's correct. Okay. So that's it, guys. Not much. Okay. So there's one more thing which I'll be telling you, not now, but later. Okay. So let me go to logical OR. Okay. Okay. Got ended. Just a second. Bro, just have some faith. I'll do everything. Okay. Don't. I'll just have some faith. I'll do everything. Okay. I'm telling again and again. Let me screen share again. The PPT got ended. Okay. Don't go in the panic mode. Okay. Everything will be learned in a slow and nice manner. Okay. और के बारे में बात ही नहीं किया. I didn't even speak about or. Okay. Right. I didn't even speak about or. I'm still at and man, you're going too fast. Okay. Don't go too fast. Okay. Just come with me. And if you have any doubts, only that, just ask those genuine doubts and I'll be clarifying them. Okay. I didn't even speak. I didn't even write logical or. Okay. So let me write logical or now. Okay. So logical or, as I said, it is in this way. Okay. Condition 1, condition 2. And this itself is a whole another condition, right? So if this is true and this is false, then it is true. Okay. And if one of them is let me write the table again. Okay. So this is a condition, this is another condition, this is another condition. Okay. Okay. If this guy is true, right? If both of them are false, let me write the first statement. This is false. If this guy is true and this guy is false, it's the same. Like you'll be getting true. Okay. If this guy is false and this is true, in that case you'll be getting true. If both of them are true, then in that case it is true. Okay. So it is basically or matlab if any of the condition is true, then it is true. The whole statement will be true. If both of them are true, right? Obviously it will be true, right? So see, I've taught it and you lost that out, right? So we can change any way, we can put any variable, don't worry. Okay? Don't worry. Don't worry. Okay. So basically, this is the logical table. Yeah, sorry guys, there's some disturbance from my side. I'm sorry. Yeah, no, it's not stuck. Okay, it's working. Okay, there's some disturbance, so I muted myself. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. So this is logical. Okay. So there's one more thing, right? So let me give an example of this thing. Okay. So for example, this guy. Okay, we'll talk about logical and. Okay, if this, if I'm writing something like 8 is greater than 4, and something like 10 is greater than 4. Okay. So do you think this statement, this whole statement, could be a condition, right? So what do you think will be the answer? Can you guys ping it, write it in the chat? True, right? Because this is true, correct? This is true, and this is also true. You can see that this will be true, old will be true, right? In the same way, 5 is less than 6, and 10 is greater than 20. This will be false, right? Because this is false. Sorry, this is true, and this will be false, right? So this will be false because any of them is false, then it will be false, right? So let me tell you about one other thing. Okay. So you have condition 1 and you have condition 2, right? So if, so how our computer will work is, so it will come here, it will see key, is this condition true? Okay. If this condition is true, then it will move here, and then it will see key, is this condition true? If both of them are true, then you will return the value true, right? But if you come here, right, if you get false as a first condition, okay, then there's no point in going here, right? So if at all in first condition only it is false, then you can see that doesn't matter what is the output of the second condition, it is false, right? Both of them need to be true, correct? So that's exactly what here, it is called short circuiting. Okay. So this is based on the first condition, right? If it is false, no need to check, no need to check any further, right? It's called short circuiting. There's no need to check any further because you know the end result is 0. So this question could be asked in many MCQs. Key, if this, like if at all some changes are happening here, even our code even won't see this, so that changes will be skipped. So you might get a different output than expected. Correct? So keep that in mind. Okay. Okay, Guru. Okay, cool. So the same thing goes for this one as well. That is logical OR. Okay. For logical OR also, like if at all you're writing something like if 8 is greater than 10 and 10 is greater than 5. Okay. So this guy is true because this is true. Correct. Correct. Right. Uh, but in short circuiting of OR, okay, C1 or C2, right? If this is true, right? It's different here. Short circuiting is based on the first condition, right? Okay. If at all the first statement is true, okay, if at all this is true, then there's no point in checking, because if at all the statement is true, right, you know that at the end it will be true, right? So it won't even check. Okay. If first statement is true, then final answer is true as well. Okay. Okay. Correct. So just keep it as a note. You will be using it in further. Okay. Chalo, logical or is done, logical not is done, and logical and logical or is done, right? Let me show logical not right now. Okay. So don't worry, this is the most simple thing. Okay. Not is basically a unary operator. It will be operated only in front of one. Okay. So in front of one condition, if you put something like this, okay, then what will happen is if the condition is true, okay, if the condition is true, you'll be getting this as the answer false. If the condition is false, then you will be getting, so it's basically inversion, right? So if this is false, then the whole statement will be true. Okay. So let me write the truth table of this as well. Okay. That is basically a, and it is not a, right? So if at all it is one, this will be zero. If at all this is zero, it will be one. Okay. Bas simple. Okay. So let me write some real world example for you guys to understand. Okay, using all these things. Okay. Cool. Okay. So let me do these things. Let me write these things. Okay. Just a second. Let me share my code editor. Okay. So I'll be writing something like if this is greater than 10, then if a is less than 20, okay, then I can write a is greater than 10 but less than 20. Okay. So let me write this. So you can see that I'm using an logical and here, right? Let me run this. So enter a value, right? So let me enter a value that is 14. Okay. So you can see that a is greater than 10 and but less than 20. Okay. Even if one of the statement is true, like if the value is something like a equals to 5, okay, that won't satisfy, that will be satisfying the first statement, but it like that won't be satisfying the first statement, it will be giving the false value, but it will be satisfying the second statement. But both the statements need to be true. That is only possible for the values 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Only for these values this whole statement will be running true, right? Correct. Guys, stop fighting. I can see the chat. Stop fighting. Just focus on the class. Okay. So only for these values of a, right? You can make this statement run, right? In this way, right? Right. So I can write something like if it is uh, it is less than 20, like if it is greater than 20, or if it is less than 10, only in that case consider it. Okay. So I can write something like is less than 10 or greater than 20. Let me run this code. Okay. So for example, if I put value 6, it is not working because I put and. Okay. And this will always be a false statement because there can't be any value which is less than 10 but greater than 20, right? So at this point, you will be putting an or statement. Okay. So this will be true only when values are from something like anything that is less than 10. Okay. 9, 8, 7, anything below that, or 21, 22, 23, anything above 20. Okay. So any values, this values or these values, okay, any value you pick up, those values will be running. Okay. Those values will be working, right? So that's or statement. You can see that a is less than 10 or greater than 20. So this is like an English, right? So can you see? A is less than 10. Yeah, A is less than 10, or this is logical, or A is greater than 20. So in this way, English statement could be written in programmatically in this way. Cool. Cool, guys. Chalo. Great that you guys are understanding. Okay. Shall I move forward? Yeah. Chalo. Cool. Cool. Chalo. Okay. So I'm talking about these things. Okay. Um, so देखो, I can write something like this one as well. Okay. I'll just put. So A, not A is less than 10. इसका मतलब A is greater than 10. Okay. Let me run this. So you can see that even though I'm writing A is less than 10, right? I'm putting a not symbol. So I'll be getting something like key 67. Okay. So you can see that A is greater than 10. Then it is true, right? So A is less than 10 should be false in order for this statement to be true. And that's what I've done, right? I made that internal statement false for my value to be true at the end, correct? Right? Shall I move forward? What about packages and braces? Okay, braces are to be put after a condition, right? After this particular condition, you'll be putting the braces, correct? Bro, right? So if the condition you put here and then the braces, right? And that's how it is supposed to be. So you guys learned relational operators. Yeah, it is sometimes necessary. Okay, you might find it necessary at times. Okay, so you can write it in that way. It's an feature that is available, right? Yeah, what statement is wrong, bro? Kiran? Tell, bro, Kiran. Anything? Like anything? Did I? A is not greater than 10. Huh? What? See, let me tell you. A is less than 10. Okay. So A is less than 10. You'll be putting A is less than 10 cannot. It means that A is greater than 10. Matlab, A is greater than or equal to 10, right? So for all the values, it is giving me the value false. For all those values, you will be getting true as the answer, right? Right. And the semicolon is supposed to be put after every statement end. Okay. But when you're putting an if statements, right, the opening bracket and closing bracket will be there. At that point, you won't put an semicolon there because that's not a single statement, right? That's the basis of statements, right? Correct. Chalo. Let me move ahead. Okay. If this is done, let me tell you about, so now the conditions are done, right? So let me tell you about the else part. Okay. So देखो, initially I was telling कि you have three keywords, if, else and else if, right? So let me tell you about else now. ठीक है? Else. So till now I hope you guys are clear with everything. ठीक है? So देखो, sometimes like if the condition is true, ठीक है? You'll be running a code. If it is false, you want to run some other code, right? So at that point, this else always like succeeds if statements. Okay. So basically how this is written is, if a condition, you know how to build a condition using relational and logical operators, right? You'll put a curly braces and you'll put a closing braces. You'll have some code, right? Okay. And then after this statement ends, you'll be putting else here. Okay. Open braces and close braces, right? So this is a, oh, just a second. I think something is happening. I'll need to erase it. Right? You have something like this. Okay. This is another code, correct? So what happens is, if this condition has two outputs. One is if, other one is like one is true, other one is false, right? So basically what will happen is that this guy will have two values. Like if it is true, then whatever code is present here, that code will run. Okay? If true. But if it is false, then this particular code will run. Okay? It's an example. Okay? So else kept like else need an if statement to be in front of it. Only then you can't directly put something like else. Okay, because you need a condition, right, on which it should be dependent on, right? That's the reason why there's an else condition. Okay, guys, stop. Okay, so let me show so let me show something like similar to this. Okay, so I have something like this key. So let me write this. Okay, so I've written something like this. You can see I've put an if statement, right? And I put a condition into it. Okay, and I made a couple of statements inside this curly braces, and then I put else, right? Else, like matlab, if else a is less than 10, in that case this particular statement will run. If it is false, matlab a is greater than or equal to 10, matlab agar 10 bhi ho to like 10 is also not less than 10, right? Even then it will be false, right? So in that case, you'll be having this system.out.println a is greater than or equal to 10. Okay, either this or this, any of the statement will be printing. That's else. Okay, so let me print this. You can see they're asking for some value. Let me put some value like 78. Okay, you can see that a is greater than or equal to 10, right? The program is ended, right? Let me run it again. Okay, so let me put a value 5. Okay, you can see that a is smaller than 10. See, right? So either this statement, if it is true, okay, or this statement, if it is false. Correct, guys? Are you following? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Not visible. Yeah, same cut again. So I'll just fix the settings tomorrow. Okay. So don't worry, guys. So now it is visible, right? It is visible. It is visible, right? Okay. So see, I've done the simple thing, right? So what I've done is I put an if statement. I put a condition here. Okay. And based on this condition, I've put some code inside this curly braces, right? So this condition, this will run if this is true. Okay, if this will be evaluated to true, in that case, this system.out.println will be working. Okay, if it is false, in that case, this statement else may jo, like whatever is written in this curly braces, that will be working, right? So I'll just show you in demo. Okay, let me run this. Okay, enter a value. I'll just put some value like 89. Okay, I'll put some enter. You can see that a value a is greater than or equal to 10. That means that 89 is less than 10. That is false statement, right? So you are here. System.out.println a is greater than or equal to 10, right? If uh, if if I'm putting a value that is something like 7 or 6, okay, let me put 6. A is smaller than 10. You can see this is working. So either this or this. So this is also something you need in your real life, right? So that's where uh, else statements comes into the picture. Okay. Now indentation, there's nothing like indentation here. In Python, you will be considering the indentation. But yeah, I'll tell that, so don't worry. So, but indentation is done to make it look in a good manner. Okay. If at all there's a bracket, you'll be putting, you'll be giving a tab space. Okay. Even if it is not there, even then it will run. Okay. There's no problem of that. Okay. In Java as well, in C++ as well, in C as well. Okay. Yeah, so here you'll be putting so if at all there are multiple statements, you will be putting a bracket. Okay. So else should always succeed if statements. Okay. So is this thing clear, guys? Anyone has any doubt? Anyone has any doubt? correct? Indentation, what, move forward. If and else, bhai, सब तो पढ़ा है, like, if and else are completely different. If we'll take a condition and if it is true, then that particular, whatever is present in its curly braces, that will be run. Okay. Else is a case where it is followed by if statement, and if the condition that is put in if is false, in that time else may, whatever the curly braces mein jo bhi the code is there, that will be executed, right? It's like ki, if it is true, do this, else agar if this is not true, then do this. ऐसे वाला सीन है, ठीक है? Correct. So great, man. So else is plan B, then that's great. No, I'll tell that. Don't worry. Just listen. यहाँ तक जो भी समझ में आया तब तक बताओ, आगे मत जाना इतना जल्दी. Okay? Just bear with me. I'll be teaching you guys. Don't worry. Everything will be taught. Okay? Yeah, that's correct, Dipansh. Double quotes are to print the string. Bro, when I copied same code from you and entered 65 value, then also in return it's showing a is smaller than 20. No, it's not true. So maybe you have that logical not operator. Just see that. Okay? Everything is clear, I guess, right? Kanchan, just don't, guys, just listen to me now. Okay? So I'll be teaching you one by one. Okay? Don't panic and don't go ahead. Okay? Okay. If else state. So okay. So the next word, guys, I didn't even, so you guys are asking me to clarify if else statement. I didn't even teach it yet. Okay? So let me teach it. Okay? Let me teach. I only thought else statement. Okay? Else statement, like else statement, right? Else statement, in else statement, the code present in braces will be executed if condition is false. It's false. Cool. So that's it. Okay, it will always. Okay, don't worry, Anish. You need to do it on your own. Only then it will be 100% clear. Okay. Just listening to anyone, it will be only 80% clear at max. Okay. So for the remaining 20%, you need to put your efforts on your own. Okay. Cool. I think everything is clear. So let me move forward. Okay. Chalo guys, bus. No ladai. Okay. So there you go. The next part is else if. Okay. Now let me tell you, you'll have a conditions in real life where one condition will be there. If this condition is true, then you want to run a lines of code. Okay. There will be a conditions like that, right? A lines of code you want to run. Okay. So A is a set of code, matlab some code. Okay. Condition 1 is not true. Okay. Condition 2 is true. Or at least in that case, you need B lines of code to be run, right? Chalo, C1 bhi kaam nahi kiya. Like C1 is also false. C2 is also false. C3 is true. At that time, you want some other lines of code to run, right? So these like as I say, it can go up to infinity. Okay. But if at all nothing is true, right? In that case, you want some other lines of code to run, right? So this will be a real life scenario, correct? Correct, guys. Guys, are you listening? Yeah, सुन लो थोड़ा, ठीक है? Don't stop fighting. So this is where else if part comes into the picture, ठीक है? So how this is done is, so I'll be having a if statement that will be having a condition 1, ठीक है? C1, okay? You'll have a curly braces and you'll have A is the lines of code, okay? And then after that only else if will come. Else if It's not directly else, but else coming with a if statement, that is C2, condition 2. So in that case, it will have some code that is B, right? So you can see that. So if this is true, then A will be executed. If condition 1 is false, and then if condition 2 is true, then B will be executed. Else if C3, right? Even C2 is false, at that time C3 will be checked. If this is true, then C will be executed, correct? So if nothing is true, okay, then you'll have else statement at the end. You can put it, it's an optional thing, okay? Or you can't put, you don't have to put it as well. Okay? The most important thing is what, that either only one of the code will be run. Only one of the code will be run. Okay? Either A, B, C, D. Like it's not possible ki A chalega and then B will also work and C will also, no, that's not the case. Only one of the code will run. So if condition 1 is true, then A will work, okay? And then the control will come till here, okay? If C1 is not true, then C2 will be checked, okay? If C2 is true, then B will be run, and then it will come to here. If C2 is also false, then C3 will be checked, okay? C3 will be checked, and then the C code will be run, okay? If it is true, if at all it is not true, then everything is not true, so D will be running, okay? So if at all C is true, then you'll again come here, okay? So only one code will be run, okay? Right? You got it right? Yeah, I can see many S's, right? Okay, cool. Guys, is this making sense? Okay, so let me write a program for you guys to be more understanding this thing, okay? They go maximum of 2 numbers, okay? I'll give you 2 numbers, okay? A and B, okay? Maximum of A and B. You need to write that, okay? So let me do that, okay? So we then if one condition is true, then nothing will be checked. It will just come out. So they go. Basically, let me repeat everything. So there are conditions in real life where based on one condition, if this condition is true, then I want to execute this lines of code, right? And if this condition is false, then we will check for the other condition, that is C2, right? If this is true, then you execute this. If this is also false, then if you will be checking another condition, that is C3. If this is true, then you'll run other lines of code, that is C. And if everything is false, then you'll run D, right? D lines of code. That's exactly how where if else comes into picture. If else will also be followed by if statement. Okay. If condition 1 is true, then A will be executed, right? If it is false, then else if will come here, and if C2 will be checked if this is true or not. If this is true, then B will be executed, right? And you'll come out of this thing, out of this ladder, if else ladder. Okay. If this is false, only then this will be checked. Okay. And if this is true, then this will be run, right? And even after this is run, and everything will come out. And if this is also not true, then else part will be run. That is D. Are you getting it? Right? So that's it, man. Like इससे clear तो नहीं समझा सकता, right? So I can just show you a practical example so that you'll understand it in a much better manner. Okay, but we don't have much time for that. So I'll just give you guys I'll just give this as an homework for you. Okay, try to learn it. Okay, try to learn this thing on your own. Cool. Um, not on your own. I mean, try to write some conditions on this thing, right? So you can write something like if a person is having a marks greater than 85, right? So he'll be awarded A grade. Okay. If this is false, then if he's having greater than 75, it means that since this is false, it means that 75 to 85 के बीच में, right? So you'll be giving him B grade, okay? वरना 65 से ज़्यादा, like or 55 से ज़्यादा, you'll be giving him the C grade, right? और उससे भी कम, right? If at all he is greater than 30, then even in that case you just give him some C grade, ठीक है? अगर if is else part में you just make him fail, ठीक है? बोलो कि he is failed, ठीक है? such type of code you can write. Okay, so let me show the code. Okay, so there you go. Enter a value. Okay, I'll write another value as well. I need two values for this, right? I think the screen is visible now. Sure. Right, cool. Just a second, enter another value. I put it into B. Okay, so अभी देखो दो values में, like I'll just compare between these values. Okay, if A is less than B, then I'll just put something like greater among the two is, so as I showed you guys, okay, I can concatenate this, right? So I can see that A is like you can see that greater among the two is B, right? So I'll just put B as the answer. Greater among the two is this value, correct? So I'll do the same thing. Greater among the two is, okay, but that's it, guys. Okay, so I'll be, so basically I've written a code, right? That is basically checking two values based on the comparison. Okay, if this is less, right, this is less than B, then I'm printing, like if A is less than B, then B is greater than A, right? So I'm just printing B varna A, right? So this is a condition. If this condition is true, then I'm printing this line. If this condition is false, then I'm printing this line. Okay, let me run this code. Okay, enter a value. Let me say 4. Okay, enter another value, that is 8. Okay, let me put the greater among the two is 8. Yeah, that's correct, right? So greater among the two is 8, right? So I can also print something like greater among the two is B. I can print something like B, right? And then value भी print करा सकता हूँ, right? I'll print something like A, and then I'll be making it value print as well, right? Enter value A, right? Enter value B. So I'll mark something like this. Okay. See, enter value A, I'll put something like 67, right? Enter value B 45. So you can see the greater among the two is A, that is 67. You can see, right? So this is a basic code to find what is the maximum value among the two values. It's a basic code and it's cool code, right? Yeah, Aniket, no worries, just watch the recording. Okay, I think that's sufficient for today's guys. Okay, काफी पढ़ लिया तुम लोगों ने, right? Okay, I'll just paste this code in the PPT, right? So that will be much accessible for you guys. And thank you for attending. We can continue and take our doubts tomorrow. Okay. Don't worry, conditionals, like you are sufficiently good. Okay, so try to do it on your own, Karthik. Okay, try to do it on your own. Try to write if else statements on your own, right? And that will help you, right? Only 80% I can do it, right? And you're already you know everything, almost everything. Okay, there are certain other things like ternary operator and switch case statements, which I'll be teaching you tomorrow. Okay, but don't worry about that. Yeah, about the homework. Okay, so try to solve the module 3 in module 3. Okay, so the module 3 is your homework. Okay, so I'll try to teach switch statements and something else. Okay, loops as well. Okay, I'll try to teach based upon the understanding your guys are getting. Okay, so module 3, not 3, it's 3, the value 3. Okay, so try to do that in Saturday and Sunday, right? Yeah, Saturday and Sunday it's off. Okay, I think there'll only be a doubt session. Okay, so it will be basically you'll be having so try to solve the module 3 on your own, and try to write if else statements on your own. You guys are really cool with it now. You learned relational operators, you learned logical operators, you know how to write if statements, you know how to write else statements, you know how to write if else statements, right? You already seen me writing the program of two, maximum of two values wala hai na, everything. So I think, so where is module 3? It is in the kya hai? Oh, great, man. Like, I think Shivam has written the code, right? So just look into that. Huh. So what I'm saying is, yeah, module 3 is in your website, okay, in your portal, okay, Acciojob portal. It is a little slow right now, okay, but it'll get faster, okay. It will be onboarded to some other big infrastructure and it'll be faster. Okay, don't worry. Good night. I hope you guys liked today's class. Okay. Yeah, Manish, Saturday, Sunday, just go through the recordings and it will be helpful to you. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow there won't be any class. Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone. So just let manager know, okay, in the Discord channel. He'll be helping you. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Bye bye. Yeah, Saturday and Sunday is off. Okay. Good night. Good night. Good night. I'll just let you know if there's an off or not. Okay. Don't worry.